introducing the sanctions and enforcing them may be two different dynamics, right? There's a scenario where they could pass these sanctions and send the message that we're trying to restrict Iran's oil revenue as a measure of support to Israel, but meanwhile not actually enforce it all that strongly in the way that you described we've seen recently, and therefore keep oil flowing, keep prices as best they can relatively muted. But that's, I think, just one of a few measures we've seen overnight where the movement on sanctions seems to be to expand them. Oil was one. In the EU as well, we also saw some G7 countries apparently considering sanctions on Iran's national airline, Iran Air. That also seems particularly symbolic to me. But we are seeing the scope widen from the initial drone and missile program that followed the attack, which was very directly to the nature of it, to Iran's interests, income more broadly.
And meanwhile, the extreme suffering, of course, of the people in Gaza continues. The UN looking at some attempts to alleviate that. What are the details there, Patrick?
Yeah, it was around 2.5 billion they're seeking dollars. That is, of course, a big number, and it's a 10 times increase of what they were seeking way back 6 months ago at the start of the war. But it is still short of, I think, they're around the 5 billion that they were, 4 billion perhaps, they were seeking in total. And they're also making very clear that what they can actually deliver is very limited by the operational constraints on the ground. I think to have a real substantive impact, you've not only got to overcome the sort of current hurdles of getting aid in, getting those backlogs cleared, and then distributing it once you're inside Gaza, but more broadly, distributing this in a war zone is an operational nightmare, and it's only really a ceasefire, I think, that's going to see those increasingly high numbers translate into proportionally effective humanitarian responses.